All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Life After Paralysis. I'm Tiffany, and it's the date of this recording is January 22nd, 2026. And today we are joined by Travis Iverson, and he hails from Ottawa, Canada, the capital of that fine country. And I am very pleased to have him with me today. Him and I come from similar climates of very cold places, and we were just chatting about that. So, with much ado, thank you, Travis, for joining us. How are you today?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on the show, and
Mhm.
respect to everyone that's been on the show already. And I'm just happy to be a part of it. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what this show, we've been you're probably I think it'll be episode number 50 or 40 something. And most of the episodes we just try to highlight someone living with paralysis doing really cool stuff that hopefully will inspire someone out there to know that they can do it or to educate someone on what's possible. So in your story, it's pretty cool. And of course, I love fashion, and I've always, for ever since I started doing online writing, I've talked about adaptive and wheelchair fashion way back in the day. But and so for you, I don't know enough or that much about what you're up to. So this is going to be awesome. So, like I said, I sent you some questions, so I don't want to like veer too much off. So let's start from like the beginning, if that's cool. And yeah, and I know that obviously you have a spinal cord injury, but do you mind kind of like telling us how that happened and how you ended up in this position to be even interested in, adaptive fashion?
yeah, I was 21 years old, and I had two options. One option was to go to the Hope volleyball tournament that they have in Ottawa every year. And the other option was to go to the cottage and hang with the guys. And unfortunately, the weather was just not volleyball weather. It was raining and calling for rain all weekend.
Hmm.
So I love nature, and I decided, okay, well, I was working at the Hudson Bay selling shoes. I only had a 3 hour shift on the Sunday. I said, I'm not gonna waste my weekend for a 3 hour shift. So I opted out and went to the cottage to hang with the guys. And, as the guys do, we're at the bonfire talking about, where we'd be in 20 years and what we'd be doing. And they're just kind of shooting the shit. And then there was a $5 bet on the table to see if I could jump off the dock and make it to the deep end that pretty much goes down like 40 feet. So it basically goes like a sandbar and then dips down, like I said, 40 feet.
Hmm.
Um, so as an athlete, I was playing lots of basketball, and I was excelling in track and field, 100 meter, 200 meter, 1500 meter. But I was a rising star, a starting point guard. And so I took the challenge on, and only to be laying face down and not be able to move and pretty much drowning. And I was lucky that my friend was close by to turn me over, or else I wouldn't be here today. And so then basically was shipped off to the closest hospital. They took the most bumpiest roads, with such a high level. I'm C3, 4, 5,
Yeah,
6.
right.
Uh,
Okay.
so incomplete. But I mean, you would have thought they would have, took a helicopter and airlifted me in just because of the severity. But they chose to take the bumpy cottage roads and take me to the nearest hospital. And from there, that's where my biggest fights kind of were on the way. And the first major fight was to get off the ventilator. And that took 17 bronchoscopies.
Wow.
So the average is like 1 to 3 for a spinal cord injury.
Yeah.
And I had 17 the first week.
What?
So they had to
Mhm.
permission. The doctors had asked permission on the 17th because I kept having my lungs fill up. And
Oh,
they wanted to do a procedure they'd never done before. And so they went underneath the right lung. And I still feel that 17th bronchoscopy today. I was
wow.
breathe. So just to be able to, to survive, right? It's kind of instilled in my, I have this superpower. I was a twin when I was born, and my twin sister didn't make it. I did.
Oh.
So ever since my first breath, I've been a fighter. So yeah, and then anyway, so then I did my rehab, 9 months in the rehab, and
Okay.
uh, at the rehab here in Ottawa, and with code white, basically stopped breathing, had an on-spot tracheotomy put in.
What
Uh,
kind of interject? What year did you get injured? I'm just kind of like, so just for context.
2003.
Okay. Okay.
I'm 43.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So, things have not changed a lot in the last 20 years in regards to what they kind of have put you through when you're first injured, I guess.
Yeah,
Even though it's been 20 years now, give or take. That's crazy.
I
So,
mean,
yeah.
things are different as far as the power wheelchairs, and obviously using
Mhm.
Google and Echo and all that kind of stuff. Like
You're
Google,
right.
you can come into your home and you can turn everything on, and you could do that 20 years ago. So
This is true. There was computers, but there wasn't smart home technology, huh?
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So then anyway, so I guess like getting home was a bunch of mixed emotions. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
coming home and seeing like the little things like the coffee maker, the sofa, the coffee table, like the things, items that I grew up with, and the sounds of like my mom being in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Those are better than the hospital alarms and the white walls. So you definitely knew you were home, but it was a little different, and
Well, you were 23 when you were hurt, right? I'm doing the math right now.
21.
21. So I was going to ask you this, but I didn't get a chance. But what were the thoughts that went through your head when you realized that this was a serious, very probably permanent injury at that age? I know that it's devastating for most people. What happened? What were the thoughts that went through your head?
Yeah, so like it was kind of crazy how when I was laying face down in the water, and constantly telling my body, turn over, and my mind, my body just not corresponding.
Yeah.
Um, I knew something serious was going on, and then when my friend turned me over, like my arms were lifeless, my legs were,
Mhm.
motionless,
Yeah.
and I just knew. I just said, call 911. I think I'm paralyzed. And
Hmm.
to be honest, like not really knowing what paralysis was, I thought
Right.
if you broke your neck, you thought you were dead. Like those are kind of like the thoughts that you, like I was young, right?
That's right. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Then when the doctor told me in the ICU that I was going to walk again, I looked at him with a bold face and I said, "Yeah, I am. I'm an athlete, right? I played lots of basketball." And I told him that, yeah, I will walk again. And who knows? I'm hopeful. I mean, you never know what's going to happen on the
Things happen sometimes. Yep. Hmm.
yeah. So I'm hopeful. I mean, I haven't put it like away like totally, but the hope is still there.
I think so. I even for me, and I've been injured since 1993. I see all this epidural stimulation and stuff happening, and I do believe you can see people getting small minimal return in their hands and arms from doing that. So that's huge for chronic injured people. So,
Yeah,
you
that's great.
know,
Even getting some bladder, bowel, or
yeah.
some more control of your body would be great.
I'm excited too. So, okay, so when out you got home and like you're that 21-year-old kid and you're trying to figure out your life, now. What were your plans? Were you planning on going to college or did it change completely after your injury? Because I know that obviously you're into fashion now, but how did you get to that point?
Yeah, so I did do a couple like for knowledge courses. I wasn't a scholar by any means, but I wanted to, at least get out there and try to get into some kind of rhythm and try to give back a little bit. And
Yeah.
so I went and I did some for knowledge course. I did like a marketing course. I did some other like little small business courses, but also
Cool.
like stocks and whatever, just to like
Yeah.
basically a
Mhm.
knowledge open concept like conversation dialogue. And
Mhm.
there was homework and assignments, but it wasn't my thing. And then
Okay.
one outfit really changed my life. It was my friend's birthday. I had to shop for a good outfit, and I basically went with my nurse to the store, and we basically picked the outfit off the mannequin, and was super excited to try it on the next morning, and it didn't fit anywhere. And so basically, with that fuel of frustration, I rolled up to my computer desk and I have a dot that's on my glasses, and
Yeah,
it's a head mouse. So that's how I move my mouse, and I
that's cool.
yeah,
Mhm.
with a very sore neck. I typed out kind of every piece I've ever wanted, and every kind of like adaptive feature that would, make it easier for me, but also for my attendants, my loved ones helping me,
Yeah.
Um, and then so I had a business coach at that time, and
Oh,
pres-
okay.
presented it to him.
Mhm.
And he thought, I thought you were just going to do like T-shirts with funny slogans on them or something. He was just like
Mhm.
dumbfounded. There was a full line there, and he basically sent it into the college. And out of 30 venture pitches, I was the last to present, but the first to roll away with the win. And
Nice.
that's
Mhm.
when the ball got started. CBC got word of what I was doing and my win, and also a win with the what was it? The Applied Research and Innovation project, and also the Celebration of People's Award.
That's
So those are two awards that came flying in, and then just after my win, and then obviously to be able to work with the students. I worked with them for 4 months, so we developed a business plan. We did the
okay.
target market, the SWOT analysis.
What? Mhm.
My unique logo that you see today is it's a swirl, kind of like an infinity sign,
Yeah.
but it's actually me in the wheelchair. It's got the head and the shoulder and the wheel, like on a mission,
Yeah, yeah.
in a motion sort of look. So
That's so cool.
also, I don't know if you can see or the viewers can see on my TV. That's me at the background drawing the cardinal bird with my mouth and his
Yeah, I see.
so
That's
so
awesome.
that's one of my favorite birds. I love their call. I love their sound.
Yeah.
So I decided to do the cardinal, and people really love it.
I
And
love that. It's like your spirit animal.
yeah, so that's like the company, like Animal. I know Roots has the beaver. You
Hmm.
know, what else? There's many like Polo's got the horse.
Heck yeah.
So
Mhm.
that's like our that's my animal,
I
and
love that.
yeah.
Cardinals are awesome, even though they're kind of crazy. I heard they're kind of mean in nature. One of my caregiver was telling me about cardinals. I was like, don't tell me that. They're really cool.
Oh yeah,
They're violent. Yeah, they're violent. You can look it up, but they're still beautiful. So,
yeah.
but how do you even get a business coach? I was going to ask you that because was that like something you were able to get through like a local college, or how do you, get involved with, getting a business coach and students to help you with bringing this vision to life? Because I think some people who are paralyzed would love to do this, that maybe, but how do you even get there?
Like it's all about like knowing, like obviously like networking is a big thing, and that's something that you gotta like really hone in on is learning how to network and to be able to like
Yep.
ask people for things in a polite way,
Yeah.
um, first of all you must have a good story, and then if you're a spinal cord survivor, like you
Sure.
obviously already, so
You got,
um, you
yeah.
gotta have a good name, you gotta have a good logo, you gotta have a good story, you gotta make sure that you fill a gap that's needed, and
Yeah.
in my situation it was accessible clothing, and having just be able to like reach out to like your local providers. I mean, I was lucky I got a written letter by the MPP here in Ottawa who was congratulating me on my efforts for all that I'm doing. And so it's about just, I mean, getting out of your comfort zone, right? And be able to really just ask people. And the more you ask, the more you know. And the more you get to see your results become fruitful. So
That's amazing. Fashion, you always think, men in the fashion industry, there's a lot of you guys out, men creating things, Valentino just passed away, RIP and stuff. And was it something for you that you were always passionate about, or was it something that your injury led you into?
Well, yeah, I've always loved looking good before my injury,
Hmm.
and I wanted it even more so, like always being looked down at physically, like in a wheelchair, right?
Yeah.
I wanted people to see me and not so much the wheelchair. And
Yeah.
so I found that when you are put together and you're looking well, that the door is literally open, and people go out of their way like to open the other door for you, not just the one.
I love
So
that. I think it's great. And the style that you portray, even on what you wear, and I've seen a lot of your photos, is really kind of like I would say old school a little bit. Would you say that's kind of the vibe of a lot of your clothing?
yeah, I mean, I like to switch it up too. I like to go on the hip hop side. I like to go on the casual side,
Cool.
um,
Hmm.
depending on how I feel for the day. And it's funny how the different looks and feedback you get from others when you're rolling down the street.
Right? It's totally
Yeah,
different. Yeah. What are
it's
some of the pieces on your website though? Are you selling what you're wearing?
No, like right now, I'm using like able body clothing as well as the enamel pins that I drew all with my mouth, the cardinal, the never
Nice.
give up lapel pin. We got stickers that are up there now, like vinyl stickers that you
Yeah.
put on your car, or your window, or your fridge. And so we're using those items to fuel my full accessible adaptive clothing line so that
Awesome. It's
people,
expensive. Yeah, I know. It's not like you can just start producing a ton of clothing, right?
yeah, so the vision is to get a iTailor website on our URL so that people can literally um, they can put themselves on the in the wheelchair, or if you have, if you have if you're visually impaired, or if you have a missing limb,
Mhm.
that you could like literally like make your own outfit on the website. So
Really?
so
Hmm.
with different adaptive pieces that I'll be having up there,
Okay.
the right funding and the right support, um, then you'll be able to literally make your own outfit and dress yourself and check out.
That's a good idea. So it's kind of like a 360 online version of yourself with the clothing that you're offering, so you can kind of see before you buy.
Well, yeah, and you can
Mhm.
also mix and match, right? So you
Yeah.
can literally like add to cart and make your own fit with the adaptive pieces that you would need, right? So
Mhm.
like I said, whether if you're like a war vet and you're missing a limb, we'll have a piece for you. If
Okay.
you're in a wheelchair, we have a piece for you. We have a piece for you. If you're visually impaired, we'll have like the logo that's in Braille, so
Hmm.
they feel the logo and be a part
That's
of it. So
cool. Yeah.
definitely looking towards a brand that's inclusive for all.
For all, that's gonna be amazing. All right, do
Yeah.
you have like one item though, like a shirt or a pair of pants that you know you're absolutely gonna make?
Yeah, for sure. There's going to be like dress shirts that have like snap buttons, so you won't be able to like you don't have to use the traditional way if you don't have the dexterity, and it's a lot easier for
Yeah,
the regular just to like basically like the tearaways of the basketball players.
I love those.
Yeah, so that's basically the idea.
Hmm.
And also it'll be like an A-frame, so when you wear it, there's more material on both sides from the armpit going down to the hems.
Well, that's gonna be so handy, when especially with limited arm mobility, it's hard when you're working with someone to get your shirt on over your head, isn't it? It's so
Yeah,
hard sometimes.
and also like it'll lie naturally with that extra material, in the front, so it'll look like you're standing basically because
Oh yeah.
Because when you wear a normal dress shirt, it's so tight around the tummy area and around the ribs. So having a dress shirt that has the extra material can really make a difference.
Nice. Do you foresee doing things kind of in standard colors, or are you gonna do anything kind of bright?
I think I think having like different stuff, like even um, what is it like stone wash, like stone
Yeah.
like old
Hmm.
like sort of vintage, but also maybe having like print all over, like the logo kind of all over pieces, but also traditional. And I think something just for everyone, I think maybe even hiring like a female designer to get some different color plackets going, just so we could
Totally.
cater to everyone. Like I really want everyone to be enjoying what's going on here. So
I love that. I think I love the photos of you in your suit, with the hat. They look good.
hey,
Like that's really a good look. I feel like that could be your signature. You could just sell that entire suit.
yeah, for
You
sure.
know? Mhm.
Pieces that like you can put on from the wheelchair.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
basically, like they're cut in a way that you can get dressed from your chair. So you don't have to like turn over left and right. You don't have to have the bulky materials that are like, at the back of your chair and
Yeah.
forward like 15 times. Like it's so annoying. So, wearing like one kind of soft shell layer and then having like an overcoat that has an option zip on, zip off back is
Ooh.
pretty revolutionary.
Yeah, that's huge. Are there other brands out there that have inspired you? I didn't include this, but I just thought of this because there's a lot of adaptive clothing brands out there that some are doing some really cool stuff and some, you
Yeah,
know, yeah.
for some out there, I know that Izzy Adoptive. She's quite good in that. She's been in the game for a while, and
Yep.
respect to her and her
Yeah.
efforts.
Yeah, she's great. I have some of her clothing. She used to send me stuff back in the day. I have like three of her jackets. They're amazing. Her trench coat is the best because it's short in the back and then long in the front and just lays on your lap and it looks really good when you're sitting in it.
It's cool.
It's light too, which I love. I hate a heavy jacket.
Yeah, it's hard to move your shoulders.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
should push your chair, but yeah, that's definitely a game changer. So big
yeah.
up to her, and maybe we'll do a collaboration one day.
Totally. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, Iz is great. I know she was telling me how it got expensive too, and
Yeah,
eventually it was hard to run the business and that I know that they make clothing now with help from I think she collaborated with a big brand, but
silver.
yeah, yeah. But that's cool. I'm glad that people are buying it. Do you think, obviously, since you must believe this, since you're going into the business, you're hoping to start producing this, but sometimes it's hard to make money, because it's a limited market, right? You know. So,
There
but yeah, but you're expanding on, like you said, blind people too and other people.
Yeah, that's why I think that it's important to really engage in all body types and all needs because if
Hmm.
you're just doing one little niche,
Yeah.
you might not be profitable. But if you have able body clothes and you have stuff for high end and stuff for people who really don't have that much money that you can offer something for everyone. I think is kind of the goal.
You should do a bow tie and a regular tie with your logo on it. That'd be cool.
I will definitely put that on the list.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times you have to come up with like what looks great sitting down. And I know I've been doing this for 33 years and I'm always looking in the mirror trying to figure out what looks good. And I think a lot of structured clothes tend to look good in a seated position just because they give you lines when you sometimes can't show lines when you're moving, and walking.
Right, right.
Right. And so I do love a structured jacket or like even a tie can just look good. Something on the neckline is really easy to make look nice to kind of highlight your upper body when you're sitting down, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Hmm.
So you've been injured for 33 years? That's a lot.
Yeah.
How did you have your injury?
I same thing, diving accident. Yeah. I was a teenager too. So 14, a little younger. Just missing, hanging out with friends too, doing stupid things. It's like I wish I I always look back and I'm like, I literally had no idea that paralysis was permanent. I had this like idea that, oh, if you break your neck, it's like breaking your arm and it'll heal in a month and you'll be fine. So
Right.
even if I do break my neck, it's okay. Like, you know what I mean? So I was completely misinformed, which I
Wow.
think, and I always think it's really good to let people know really what it's all about because sometimes even, I run into caregivers, I'll explain to them what my level is, and what level makes no, that nobody is like, what?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, yeah, C6 controls your wrists and C5 is your bicep. Like nobody knows this stuff. And that's the problem I think we're running into. And a lot of times injuries happen because people don't know enough.
Yeah, it's
Right.
crazy how much you get in tune with your body
Yeah.
after injury. See
Mhm.
the triggers, like autonomic,
Yeah.
dysreflexive, and all
Mhm.
those, all that terrible stuff that you would never really know if you were injured. And
No,
people,
that's a huge thing. Yeah, that's a really strange thing. And even doctors at the ER barely know about autonomic dysreflexia, let's be honest.
I tell them like,
Mhm.
autonomic dysreflexia. They're like, what? I'm like, where's my card?
Yeah, here's my card. Did you have the card did you get one from the Canadian organization from, yeah, Rick, what's his, Rick Hansen?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I know we're gonna run out of time. Zoom's gonna kick me out of here soon, but I do want to ask you a couple more questions. And mainly, what advice would you give to other people out there who are paralyzed that want to start their own business? We kind of already touched on this a little bit, but like you said, networking, right? And just really putting your foot down and really literal not literally, but you know what I mean. But just like sometimes, when you get up and you just feel like depressed when you're paralyzed and you never really make your ideas happen. How do you, what advice do you have for making your ideas actually happen,
Well, I mean, first of all, you got to really love what you're doing. And I mean,
Yeah.
if you don't, then
Mm.
I wouldn't suggest getting into, business because there's a lot of sacrifices that are involved. And I'm talking about like, missing weekends, missing parties, and, 100 emails, 150 phone calls. Like, it's a lot to it, right? It's not just, and one thing is you have to remember is to, it's not going to happen overnight. And
Mhm.
I learned how to really be patient. I mean, you're already practicing patience as a patient, so with caregivers, and you have to be, it's not like you can sometimes get up whenever you want or go to bed whenever you want. It's
Mhm. Mhm.
you gotta experience, you gotta really practice patience, and
Yeah.
that's something that's already kind of instilled with the injury, but um, and I still learn that today. I mean, I always get frustrated. I'm like, I want to get up like now. Like, I don't want to wait till this time to get up. And you know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Oh, I know. Trust me, I know.
you know,
Do you work from bed on your computer at least so you don't feel completely like.
yeah, I do a lot of work when I'm
Hmm.
in the four walls. And so, anyways, I think that the main takeaway would be just to keep resilient and to never give up, especially if you love what you do. I mean, if
Yeah.
and not to let anybody tell you any different either. Like, I've had many people say, maybe you should put the towel in, or maybe you should give up, or maybe try something else. And I mean, if you think about it, all the stuff that I've done since I've started, it would be all for nothing. So,
No. Yep.
continue on, and it's never quit and never give up.
I love it. And I know that, like you said, you're still like in the fundraising phase to get the clothing made, right?
Yeah, I mean, if people want to visit, and
Yeah.
they can visit iverfashion.com, and you can get the Instagram and the Facebook all from there. And under about is where you can see before my injury, how what I was doing before, and how the injury happened. There's
Yeah.
also the contact, as well as obviously the donation if people feel inclined to support this amazing initiative.
Yeah. I think this is great. I can't wait to see where this goes for you. I love that you're sticking to it. And I know it's gonna happen. There's not enough. I don't think men out there doing this in the spinal cord injury world. I think it's great to see you out there trying to make some really cool clothes, and I hope that you do a whole suit, okay?
Yeah,
Do it.
yeah, for sure.
There was this guy in Sweden doing a suit called Legaware, and yeah, and the business is no longer around.
Oh,
So like that could be a niche. I'm just saying. We can talk about this later. I have a lot to say about fashion.
yeah, I know for sure.
Okay, you and I can talk more, but this is awesome, and I wish you so much, luck and stuff, and just keep working, I guess, at it. And maybe later on, when you start making clothes, we can have you back on and we can talk about that. Okay?
Sounds good. I really appreciate that, and thanks
Yeah,
for having me on your show.
absolutely. Now stay warm up there in Canada and surviving all the crazy snow that we're getting, and
Yeah.
we'll be in touch in the future. And I just thank you so much.
All right. Never give up. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, never get it. Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.